Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here. We're back. We're doing a best of one M21 draft. Alright, draft is fired. What do we got? So we've got some good choices here. We have, well, our rare is Containment Priest. This really doesn't fit for any one deck. And it's playable and limited but not exciting. We're looking at Tempered Veteran, which is at its best in Selesnya tokens. We have Silver Smoke Ghoul, great card for black-white life gain. Revitalize is an enabler for that. You get those later. Hunter's Edge is just removal. I'm kind of okay taking the Veteran. It's a very strong card for Selesnya tokens, and it's a 2-drop. It's also Arsonist, which I like a lot, but we don't need to take it this early. Yeah, Veteran versus Ghoul, basically. I think it's easier to build the Selesnya tokens deck. But, I mean, this is a payoff for black-white, and payoffs are hard to get typically. I'm still going to go Veteran, though. I think it's just easier. Even though I think black-white is more fun to play, it's harder to build. So I would rather take something a little easier to build that's still very good. So we could actually follow up with Animal Sanctuary. The counters... It's a free card in the deck, which is nice, but it also, there's quite a few cats in green if we end up Selesnya. Swindler, another card for black-white that would have been just fine. Pegasus and Swooper in white. Neither of these are terribly exciting Selesnya cards, though. I'm okay taking Sanctuary. It's a good card. Even if we don't end up Selesnya or white even, still a decent chance Sanctuary can make the deck. And we're not giving up too much of anything here. Opt is always playable and good card, but yeah, let's take the Sanctuary. Alright, well, Houndmaster is a fantastic card. One of my favorites in the set in terms of power level. So I'm probably just slamming that. There's also Riddle Form for Izzet decks. Another Revitalize, another Opt. Tyrannodon. Good card for Selesnya tokens, but Houndmaster is just phenomenal, so I'm going to take it. See if we can make it work. Alright, so we can take a shock now. Seems perfectly fine. Otherwise, Battalion, good with the Veteran. Veteran might not make the deck now if we end up Boros. Guess you could still find some tokeny stuff. There's an Experimental Overload in here, but I have a personal preference to not play Izzet just because I really don't like... I'm not a good pilot of those decks, and there's enough other archetypes where... The weird thing is I actually find Izzet is open most of the time. More often than not. I don't know if it's just me or it's a coincidence, but I feel like Izzet is open very often, and it's my least favorite archetype to play. Taking a shock here is fine, though. It's less powerful than an Overload, but it's always going to make the deck, and it's a good card. Alright. So, Canopy Stalker is in fact a cat for Sanctuary, but kind of brings us a little bit of ways away from the Houndmaster. There's no actual good Selesnya tokens cards here. Could take the Weird. It's more of an Izzet card. It's still gonna be... I've actually played it in black-white, like a black-white spells deck before, and it's still good. So I can take it. Like, you can just get a bunch of Defiant Strikes and still just fine. I don't think Canopy Stalker's that good anyway. It is a cat, though. I might want cats for Sanctuary. I'd still rather play Houndmaster just because of how insanely strong it is. Okay, so Finishing Blow, Enthralling Hold in blue. Turn to Slag, playable removal. We may have to take the 6-pick Enthralling Hold. I'm trying not to play Izzet, but there's just nothing else kind of close here, I think. I mean, Enthralling Hold is very strong. And Turn to Slag is playable, but Not terribly exciting. Alright. So there's Gale Super, which is fine here, evasive creature, or there's Bodalian Arcanist as well. I'll take the Super. I'm still trying to hold out hope that I can make this Houndmaster work. Might not be available until pack 2 before we find out. So there's Rousing Reed, multiple Stitchers. Haven't played much Dimir in the format. I don't think it's that great anyway. So I could take Hobble Fiend. It doesn't really want to be in this deck too much. It's playable in any deck that's red though. Probably take the Rousing Reed in case I have to play blue. So I love Arsonist. I kind of want to take it here. Just Read the Tides. Arsonist just buys time. Now it's a great card. So we could take the Cur now to go with our Houndmaster. Only 2 white picks this pack, which is a little bit concerning. It's just 11th pick Riddle form. Yeah. This is what I'm talking about. This archetype is always open for me. Always. I have no idea why. Always. It's like I'm actively trying to avoid it, and I'm getting 11th pick overloads after 10th pick Riddle forms. So, I mean, once again, I feel like I'm getting forced into Is It. I'll just take the artifact. I'm getting forced into my least favorite archetype to play. Guess a miscast. And the thing is, I feel like I always build amazing Is It decks. They look amazing on paper. And then I play them and I get crushed. So we could take another Houndmaster, but I mean at this point when you're getting 11th pick overloads, 10th pick Riddle forms, I think you just bite the bullet and make it, unfortunately. It would be wrong to not make it now. So we'll take an Opt probably. There's a Kraken in here too, which is fine, but Opt is pretty highly playable in a deck that's got Riddle form and overload and stuff, yeah. You want those 1 mana cantrips and just go off. Karabek is good for any black deck. Good in this format in particular because it's very aggressive. Kraken would be fine here too, but I'll take the Opt. It just makes more sense, I think, for us. So, good black-white cards here. There's Trader's Greed. Protege can help a little bit. Wishcoin Crab can buy some time. And then there's a Magma that's just a random bear. We could take the Greed, I think. Could possibly be good for us. Maybe we'll find a sack outlet too, I'm not sure. Temple would be nice, but it's not on color with what we're doing. I guess we'll take the Greed. Kind of not taking anything exciting there anyway. So Geyser is a great card. There's another Opt though. Rousing Reed, Cur, Slag. Plenty of playables in here. We're gonna take the Geyser though. It's a mana sink. It can kill your opponent. You can get it back. Activates Riddle form. You can kill creatures. So there's another Overload. I think I'm gonna take the Immolator over it though. They both want to be in the same deck. Another Opt in here. But Immolator is a fantastic card. I like having a bear that gets bigger in this deck that also can kill. And who knows, maybe we'll wheel Overload again. We got it 11th pick last time, so who knows. So we can take inventory. It's probably still early enough to attempt it. We're also not passing anything, so why not? So we can take Reign of Revelation here. I think that's kind of an obvious pick. It's just a good card. Yeah, makes sense. So Arsonist number 2, or we take the Weird. I mean, Weird makes more sense with what we're trying to do. Arsonist is great at buying time, though. This isn't an optimal Arsonist deck, but Arsonist is kind of just, you play as many as you get in any red deck just because this format's quick. So Cur is actually okay because we have Animal Sanctuary, although I kind of don't want to play them. I think Crab kind of makes the most sense for us because we have some good late game spells. Overload, Hold, Geyser. So just something that can hold down the fort. I kind of don't want to play the ogre, the cur, or the crab, but I'm just giving myself some options here. Now Houndmaster's wheeling. Like, what are my opponents playing? I'm just confused. I'm not going to splash for Houndmaster. I probably don't. I mean, I don't really want Glidemaster either, but I guess it can randomly kill with weird and can trade early, so in case I need it, I'll take it. Could take a Magmut. I don't really need a second crab anyway, so whatever. I don't really want to play the Glidemaster or the Magmut. We'll probably get that all figured out in pack 3 here. Bloodfell Caves for... I mean, I'm not going to play a second cur, so I guess I'll just take Caves in case there's a black card I want to splash. I don't know what I would splash in black. Got the 12th pick overload now. I mean, we're in the right archetype. Even when I'm trying to actively avoid it, we still just get all of the bomb spells for it. So for now, I'm going to take out stuff that I don't really want to play, if possible. I'll take the rare, actually, I will, because I don't think we're going to play the tampering anyway. I've played it before and I actually like it, but I don't think we want it here. So I think it's an easy Immolator, actually. As much as I like Palladium Mirror in general, and it's actually pretty good in here, Immolator just makes way more sense. It's a kill spell creature, and it gets bigger with our spells. I think we just got to slam it. It'd be nice. I think we'll be able to hopefully wheel like a Thrill or a Rousing Reed or an Arcanist. I mean, any of those wheeling is good. But easy Immolator, I think. Gadrak. Well, Gadrak's kind of a interesting card. We have not that much removal, although actually with Immolator, it's very good. You sack the Immolator, you kill something, you get 2 treasures right away. That's actually kind of appealing. And then maybe we wheel something we want out of here. Opt. Maybe at worst an Arcanist. Passing a Rain of Revelation, which is good, but I kind of like Gadrak here. It's going to block. And like I said, with Immolator, it's actually quite good. I don't really want to play the Cur either. Yeah, I like that. And then we get past a Terror of the Peaks. This card I haven't even played with in the format yet. I've played against it, and it kills people extremely fast. So we're going to take that. What's kind of cool is it still works with Overload. You get a creature token come in, and it can just... It's really strong with Overload. So our deck went from really amazing to kind of busted now with this Mythic. And then we get past Sublime Epiphany. All right, so now our deck is like unbelievably strong. And just a bunch of playable red-blue in here. Yeah, we are like ridiculously strong now. Now Arcanists become like absolutely busted too. Ramping us into a Epiphany, Geyser, Overloads. I don't think we need the Greed anymore. Probably doing better things. Another Enthralling Hold, Arcanist, Shock. Wow. Shock probably makes more sense. Our late game is kind of on lockdown now. As much as I like Enthralling Hold, we just need to survive, and we're going to be crazy good. I think we're off the inventory plan. So we'll take Thrill here because we have plenty of goodies that we want to dig up. Augur is like one of the better cards you can get. I'm going to take it over Wizardry. How many actual instant sorceries do you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. Augur's looking good to me. So Arcanist, I'm going to take over Thrill. As much as I like Thrill, we want the early blocker that ramps us into Epiphany and Geyser, I guess. It's just good. Good blocker. All right. Op number 2 or Rain of Revelation. I think Rain is actually really good with double Arcanist. Opt is great because it activates Riddle Form for a cheap cost. This is a tough pick. I think I'm actually taking Opt over Rain. As much as I like Rain, I kind of want to keep our curve relatively... I want to keep ourselves busy early because our late game is looking real good. Real good looking late game. So if we can stay busy enough early, I think we'll be in good shape. We already have a deck. Getting just 12th pick shock. I think the other players at the table are asleep at their computers or something. I don't know what's going on. I have never in my life gotten such good cards for an Izzet deck. Yeah, this deck is absolutely insane. And we have to figure out a cut, because I'm going to play 17 lands for sure with double Overload, Rain, double Opt. Wow. We have more like at least 12, 13 creatures with the Riddle Form. I might cut Rousing Reed. I actually really like Rousing Reed. I don't think that we need it. I'd rather play instants and sorceries for overloads and Kinetic Augur. And Thrill is cheaper and doesn't require an actual creature. I still want the Arsonist because we need some early protection. I think we have enough card draw. This looks good. This looks really good. This might be the... not even might. This is the best Izzet deck that I've drafted, incidentally. Which is funny because you saw me trying to avoid it early in the draft, and we're getting 11th and 12th pick overloads, 13th pick shocks, which I think I've never seen before in my life. So more red than blue, but we have double blue. We still err towards red. All right. Well, there you have it. Izzet Mythics and Strong Rares. We'll see you round 1. All right, to game 1, got a great keep here. I'm going to opt first. I don't think I want a Geyser. Land at least gets us closer to Enthralling Hold, so... Wouldn't mind if they didn't block there. But we'll shock them and seems fine. Alright, their Thrill of Possibility. Looks like they want to use a removal spell here. Oh, that's cool. Alright, Augur. Yeah, that seems good to me. We don't need to discard anything either. I wouldn't mind keeping all of these cards. Or both of these cards, I should say. Alright. Replicator, so... I think we just play the Immolator and pass. I guess we can kill that in response, or deal 2 to it in response. Even though I kind of want it to attack here for Enthralling Hold. I guess we can sandbag that for now. So I'll probably end up taking that. Gadrak's good too, but let's take the 4/4 now while we can. And then we can pass. And we even control an artifact now, so. So it's only non-token creatures that make the Mauler get bigger. I think we will block. We're gonna let the Mauler get bigger. So they can only ping Gadrak for 2, which isn't too bad. Oh, Sublime Epiphany, huh? Wow. So, says trample. So I can bounce, copy. So I can attack with both these and then bounce Mauler, copy, Augur, and draw. That seems pretty good because that also makes this a 4/4 and gives me another 4/4 trample. It seems worth it to me. I'm not getting the maximum value, but I'm making good use of my mana, and because this has trample, I think it's a pretty big deal. I mean, I guess it makes more sense to copy the replicator. No, it's non-token though. Control 2 or more non-land, non-token permanents. So 1 would be a token. So it wouldn't work with Replicator, but that's okay. We'll do the Ogre, which has Trample and gets bigger anyway. Looks like they're having a hard time figuring it out. So ultimately they... do I care about them ramping now or the damage? Probably the damage. So I think we're going to do this different now. We're going to let them keep the Mauler. And we're going to bounce... I guess we bounce the Magma then, so we keep our Replicator. Alright. So we're going to do these 3. Bounce the Magma. Copy Augur. And draw. And then we just get an overload. We're not going to discard anything. They don't get a counter on Mauler. We can get back a Sublime Epiphany with our overload. I think we'll take it. All right. So overload. Wonder if we can just kill him. I think we probably just go for shock now because of the trample. This actually makes more sense because these can become even bigger. Oh, I forgot you have to exile the... Alright, well, not a huge deal. I think because of the trample, they're probably dead. So I think I just shocked them now. Sure, they're still very dead. Alright. Alright, we'll see you for the next one. Alright, we have a good keep here. Arsonist into Arcanist. And ideally, turn 3 Reign of Revelation. Start setting up for a experimental overload. Getting back Reign, more card advantage. Get some big stuff out there. Yeah. They have shock mana. It seems like they have a spell, but thankfully they're not going to be able to kill her. And if they want to shock Arcanist, that's fine. Or Arsonist, rather. It's fine, too. No problems here. Arsonist doing its job. Getting a shock out of our opponent's hand and shocking them. So, I think we actually do the Immolator. Could do the Rain. It's the best use of mana. But I like Immolator more here. It's a prowess creature. It puts another body on the board. It kind of telegraphs that we have an opt because we didn't leave up a red. But that's okay. So I can actually opt here. I think I will. Because I'm probably going to do Rain on my turn anyway. Spellgorger Weird's good too. You know what? We'll take the Weird. I'm going to see what they do here first. So first thing we'll attack with the Immolator. If they block, we rain. If they don't block, do we rain too? That's a question. I think not. I think we get our 2 damage in. And I think we actually play the weird. This puts 2 pretty relevant threats on the board. And it also helps that weird gets bigger now with everything that we play. So, yeah. So 5 mana. I guess we just, well, I want to put the counters on this though. I guess if we're just doing Reign of Revelation, then we might be able to play. We didn't play a land this turn, right? I don't think we did. I don't need full control. So we can discard the blue, I guess. So I did play a land. Is that right? Yeah. Which was a way to check. I bet there is. I just don't know how to do it. I forgot. See, you have to know if you went first. You have to know if your opponent didn't play a land. I forgot that I immediately played a land in my turn. It's important information to know, though, because it can definitely change the outcome of your turn. Like, I would have wanted to leave up a red mana to use Immolator or Shock now, and I can't do that. Well, if they're just attacking, we're probably okay here. Can we just kill them? So, let's see. I can shock them, take them to 7, blow that up. This goes up to 5. I think I can kill them. Shock, plus opt, plus riddle form. This gets 3 counters. Yeah. So, shock them. And then we riddle form. Then we opt. Sure. And we blow up the weird. And get in for 7. Alright. Let's see you for the next one. Yeah. Very strong keep here. Shock into Immolator into weird. I think makes more sense than shock into Arcanist. I guess it could change depending on what we draw. So I could attack and maybe shock them if they block. That probably makes the most sense, actually, because I can still play an Arcanist. Yeah. Let's get our 2 damage in. And like I said, if they block, we shock them. It's still a good deal, even though they drew a card out of it. Gnarled Sage. Well, hopefully we can find an opportunity here to I could shock the Visionary. Probably makes sense. I want to keep him off of a 6-drop next turn while we search for some answers here. I mean, I could triple block, but we get owned pretty hard by a Titanic Growth or a Burn Spell. And they have 5 cards in hand, so I don't think that seems wise. Well, they're tapped out. I'd probably make this trade. I don't want to, but I think it makes sense with them being tapped out to just take the trade while we have no action. We're also just like a Sublime Epiphany away from, or an Enthralling Hold to steal the Dreadmaw. Like, we have some pretty live draws here. So Enthralling Hold would be a good rip. Rain is going to have to do for now. I think I need to cast it on my turn because I really want to play something else too, or have the option to. Alright. It's actually fine. So we'll discard a land, we'll play a land. Then we can do Thrill plus Opt. And make our Immolator 4 power. Which means we might do Opt plus Shock to kill the Dreadmaw. Yeah, that actually kind of makes sense. Alright. Alright. So, let's opt first. Augur seems good. It's only a 2/4 right now. Well, it's going to be bigger, so I guess we keep it. And then we're going to... Let's see, block here, shock. I take 6, I go to 2. Alright. Because of the trample. So we do this and we shock the Dreadmaw. Alright, I think we die now. Yeah, I don't think there's anything I can do. I can shock. I can blow up the Turd Ogre, but we still take 9. So, I think that's all we got. Alright, we'll see you for the next one. Alright, we got a great keep here. Alright, Immolator was a good draw. I wonder if I need to start scrying on my upkeep. I need to find more land. Well, now I don't want to scry. Well, land there is actually pretty good. So let's go to main. Just gonna attack. They probably take it. Yeah, and then we can leave up shock and riddle form scry. Probably bottom anything that's not a land because we have Terror of the Peaks now. Sanctum, okay. Be pretty surprised if they attacked, yeah. Alright, so we can scry. We're gonna bottom that. As good as that card is, I think we just want to land, play this turn 5 Terror of the Peaks, because that's really good. I'm still going to attack, actually. If they block here, it's not bad. I still just shock them and kill their guy. It keeps me off Terror of the Peaks for a turn, but I can still scry. Doesn't really matter, it didn't happen anyway. So if they kill Terror of the Peaks, they lose 3 life. And then on our turn we can Geyser. If I draw a land, I can Geyser for 4. Yeah, I think we just do that. So then we just get in for 11. And then they're just straight up dead to a shock next turn, either from, well, I guess it depends. I mean, we know what we're doing, but, and the problem is they can't like do anything about Terror of the Peaks now. If they cast anything targeting it, they just lose 3 life. So now we just shock them. Alright, that should do her. Alright, we'll see for the next one. Alright, opponent is going first. I think we have to keep this hand. We don't have blue mana, but Terror of the Peaks is probably the strongest card in our deck. We have 2 shocks for early protection. We need to rip some lands, but we have Thrill of Possibility in here too. I think it's a keep. Well, I'd like to not cast shock for a while, but I think we probably just, well, I guess we can wait 1 turn here. I might actually just shock that. I don't know yet. And if they want to do feet, that's okay with me too, I think. Alright. So now we can do weird. So basically we did that so we didn't take 6 damage here. If I had not killed the Prismite to save the extra shock, could have ultimately been better, but I think trying to save ourselves a little bit of damage early can't be bad. So that's good news because we can kill it. And actually drawing another weird here is nuts good for us too. So we'll just kill this. And get in for 3. And next turn we can either play Terror of the Peaks or Reign of Revelation, which seems good. I'll take it. The weirds are only getting better, so... Oh, well, that seems fine. Let's get in here. So, I think we will Reign. Get in for 8 whole points of damage. We can ditch a... Well, that's actually kind of tough. I guess we ditch the blue so I can play the Arsonist to block the Watchdog. But then I can't play the Enthralling Hold. I don't know if that matters. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to ditch the blue so I can play the Arsonist. I like it more. Like, this keeps us off Enthralling Hold, but really, don't we just want to cast Terror of the Peaks anyway, so... Guess we can take 4. So... Can do Overload, getting back Shock, and these become 6 power. Probably want to do that, actually. Can also get back Reign of Revelation, but with the Shock, I think it's better to do. I guess they can double block. Might actually just be smarter to play Terror of the Peaks here. Yeah. I'm going to play the land too. So we're playing Terror of the Peaks because it's going to be nuts with Overload. And we can do it to any target. So we can actually probably just kill them pretty shortly here. With Overload, we can just straight up kill them. And if they target this, they lose 3 life, and that's a big deal too. Like Hunter's Edge or something. We're still okay. Like if they Hunter's Edge, they go to 6, which means both our weirds would be lethal. Kind of okay blocking here. This also makes Overload and Terror of the Peaks lethal. Yeah, so they did do that. That's fine. I think we just do the Overload and the Immolator. So we'll get back the I think we'll get back the Reign of Revelation, actually. I mean, we can get back Shock. We can attack with both. But they're going to gain life off Mentor, although it is a trigger. Yeah, it does mean... So if I bring back Shock... I can... No, they have the Vigilance creature, though. Alright, I'll get back... This is tough, actually. I want to cast Immolator. I'm going to do Reign. Because I'm casting Immolator, I think this makes more sense. I can chump that. So I just chump the Watchdog, take the Mutt. I think so. Yeah, if they attack with a mutt, they're in pretty big trouble. I don't want to die randomly to Titanic growth, so I think we probably block the Watchdog. I'm pretty surprised they're attacking with the mutt, though. So we just chump the Watchdog and take the mutt. That way we don't die. So now we can steal the mutt. Which I think we will do. If I attack with everything, they kill a weird, chump a weird, take 3, which is not lethal, and then they gain 4. I don't like that. I think we wait here. All right. So all of our guys are red, which means we die. Alright, we'll see for the next one. Alright, this hand, and we're going first. I think we got a mulligan. It's all cheap red spells, no red mana. This one's a keep. And I think we'll probably get rid of the Overload. Could have gotten rid of the Epiphany, but it's so strong. I think it's probably better to keep it. I am going to play the Opt, though. And see what's coming up here. So, I mean, I guess I'll take it. I need second blue eventually. I want more early action, but we immediately get some, so it's okay. I mean, when I play the Augur, do I want to ditch 2 lands? Maybe I want to ditch 1 land. Weaver's a good card. Another Immolator. Well, now I kind of just want to play that and pass. We're, I mean, actually close to being able to cast Epiphany here at some point. All right. Pro blue, so I can't do anything against Weaver with Epiphany. I have to remember that. Experimental Overload, so I can do that getting back Opt. Doesn't seem that optimal, but at the same time it does bring my Immolator. It lets me get 8 points of damage in. It's probably worth it. I mean, I want to get Epiphany back too, but 8 points of damage right now seems like a lot. My other option is to play Augur. Oh, you know what? I'm just going to do this. This seems fine to me. I don't have any issues here. And if they want to trade off whatever, I'm okay with this too. Like, I can just deal all my damage to Mauler. I mean, shock is good, but we want land. Alright, we got our land, so can I deal all my, yeah, all the damage there. And that's actually a good trade for us anyway. So now we have Epiphany, which means we'll have to look for maximum value here. Alright, maybe copying that. Oh, it's a copy of target creature you control. Well, that's good to know. So we got the land. I think we'll just play Augur and discard 1 land. Alright, Riddle Form we can also cast. And then we'll pass. Alright. So, at the very least, we can bounce that at some point. Alright. We have Epiphany for that, so it's probably fine. We can save ourselves some damage here. I guess being able to Epiphany plus Immolator is not bad. I think we'll just take the counter while we can here. So, counter that, bounce, create a token, draw a card. So, we're bouncing the Coatl, we're copying the Augur, and we're drawing the card. Alright, they counter our Sublime Epiphany, and that is going to be just about it this game, I think. I can't actually block with Riddle Form and Immolator it because it's 7, so I guess we'll just take 7. So we'll play Gadrak. And now we can... No, we still can't. Unfortunately, still can't block Coatl and Immolator. So I guess we hang out. Because it's going to be 8 power now. So I guess we can scry at the end of their turn. Blue-green Riddle Form decks just walloping us. I guess I'll scry now. Bottom that. I think I want to stop. Or no, I want to stop during my upkeep or draw step or whatever step that is. So we'll take 8. So I guess I probably just scry once on my turn. Thrill, I mean, I guess we have to keep it. Oh wait, I have to discard to do that? Never mind. Whoops. Well, that was a mistake. I'm not exactly sure what would have saved me there anyway. Terror of the Peaks would have let me double block the Coatl, which I can't do now. No bounce spells, no capture spheres, no burn spells that can take care of it. I think that's all I got. So I'll have to block here. We'll stop on our... I don't know why I thought I could cast Thrill. So we'll use this. I'm not sure what we could possibly get to get us out of this. Not that. So I can't activate Riddle Form. And we take 9 flying. Alright. So end up going 3-3 with the best Izzet deck I've drafted in the format. Not surprised at all. Not surprised at all. So Izzet continues to be my least favorite archetype to play in the format. I totally understand why some people love it. I don't want you guys to take it the wrong way. I totally get why you would love that if that's the type of strategy you like. I don't personally like it. This deck obviously did much worse than it should have. Even more so than how I normally play is it. Like, this deck was exceptionally powerful. And we went 3-3. I think that was more of a fluke than anything. But yeah, I still do not like piloting is it. And I feel like it's open every draft I do. Every draft I do, I get late is it cards. So I don't know if it's just random. I happen to be at tables with people who don't like playing it either, or just it's other people don't like it. I honestly have no idea why it's open so often, but it does feel like is it is always open, which is weird. Maybe it's just an easy archetype to build in the format. I'm not sure. But no, there's absolutely no justification for why we're getting 10th pick Riddle form into 11th pick Experimental Overload into next pack 12th pick Overload, 13th pick Shock pack 3, like Terror of the Peace into Sublime Epiphany passing. Just that makes zero sense. But obviously it didn't help us that much in the end. So, all right, hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you for the next one.